What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And the Phillies' magic number is now down to 5, thanks to the Miami Marlins for beating the Milwaukee Brewers last night, hitting a grand slam by Avisel Garcia in the top of the 8th inning to help the Marlins win that game. And then the Phillies win the first game of the doubleheader by a score of 5-1 over the Washington Nationals. Falter was absolutely amazing in this game. And the Phillies, they were better with runners in scoring position in this game, but still, I thought the bats were still, kind of looked a little bit of the same from the Cubs series. They just happened to score more runs because they're playing the Washington Nationals. One of their runs were scored because of a balk in this game. Like Bailey Falter, he did his job, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. Eflin, he allowed a run coming out of the bullpen. Alvarado did his job in a 1-2-3 inning, and Serafi Dominguez is really struggling right now. He just doesn't look the same since coming back from that injury. 2 walks, bases loaded. He got out of it, but it shouldn't have come down to that type of situation. Like, I'm not jumping for joy. I'm happy you got the win. I'm still happy you got the win. Don't get me wrong about that. It's just what happened in the Cubs series. It defeated me so badly. Even though I'm not, thinking of anything like that, I'm still happy you won. I still want you to make the playoffs. It's just for the fact that right now it's going to do a lot to me to get back to jumping for joy. It's going to do a lot to get people to get back to jumping for joy for this team. But you got the win in the first game of the doubleheader, and that's all that matters. Your magic number is down to 5. And I'm doing this recap now because I firmly believe that game 2 is not going to be played because it started raining at the end of that game, and it's only going to get worse as the night goes on in DC. So I'm really not expecting any type of game 2 action to be played whatsoever in Washington, DC. I don't know how they're going to work everything because if I bring up the radar right now, just to show you what the radar is going to look like going throughout the night, it gets worse as the game is scheduled for 7 o'clock. I'm not even sure why they just didn't do back-to-back games. Like the game starts at 1 and then the second game starts 30 minutes after. I'm not sure why they didn't do that, but I'm not the MLB and I don't make those decisions. So I'm going to try to show you the radar right now in Washington just to basically prove my point that game 2 is most likely not going to get played. So this is right now, and it's going to go into the future as you get towards 7 o'clock. Look at all that heaviness going into Washington, D.C., and it even gets worse as the night goes along. So, yeah, I'm not expecting a game 2 to be played whatsoever. I'm sure you're going to be getting updates throughout the rest of the next few hours before game 2 is supposed to happen. So I don't know if game 2 is going to happen. I'm thinking it's 90% chance of not happening just because of the rain. Who knows if MLB's like, screw it, you guys have to play in the rain because we really have no other choice to play right now. And if you're looking at the rest of the weather forecast for Washington, because it is supposed to rain all weekend, like it is supposed to be here, because the rain in Philadelphia doesn't start until tonight. So if you're looking at the entire weekend for Washington, tomorrow, 63 degrees, 61% chance of rain. Gets worse as the night goes along. Sunday, 92% chance of rain. It's going to rain through Monday in DC. Rain through Tuesday, actually, in DC. So I have no idea how they're going to get. They're most likely not getting tonight's game in. That's most likely a benefit. Not a benefit, but a expectation in that standpoint. Tomorrow is a 1 o'clock game, so maybe they could possibly get that game in. Just play a little bit through a light rain shower. Game 3 on Sunday is a 1:35. Possibly, maybe they can get that in since it's an afternoon one as well. But I have no idea how they're going to get this game in, this game 2. If they have to reschedule it for another game day or something like that, I have no idea how they're going to get it in with the rain. I just don't, because the rain every day in DC gets worse as the day goes along. So we're basically just wait and see mode in that point. That's, like I said, it's the only reason I'm doing this recap right now. If the game 2 was going to be played, I would have saved the recap for later tonight, but I'm doing it right now just because I'm expecting no game. I'm really expecting no game 2 at that point. So if we go through this game, Phillies get on the board first. Rhys Hoskins goes yard, opposite field, makes it a 1-0 Phillies lead. There were chances. They had a lot of chances with runners on base. Similar situation. They get runners on. They don't move them. They don't get them over. Yada, yada, yada. Then they go top of the 4th inning. Marsh with a 2-out double. Then Gene Segura gets a single up the middle to score Marsh to make it a 2-0 ball game. Then you go into the top of the 6th inning. Phillies get another run on the board because of a balk. So Nick Castellanos, he managed to get on base because C.J. Abrams threw it to the moon. completely missed first base, which allowed Castellanos to go to second. Marston got a single, which allowed Castellanos to go to third base. And then during the I believe it was the Bryson Stott at bat, pitcher on the mound, balks. So Castellanos scores. Phillies, that was the only run that inning. They had 2 runners on with 0 outs, and the only way they scored was because of a balk. Kind of find that funny and sad at the same time. So the 3-0 lead from there. Pitching basically doing the job there. Nationals do get on the board. Zack, he allows a run in the 7th inning. There were a lot of weird things going on in that inning. Like, seriously, there was after the RBI single, it was during the Robles at bat. So JT throws to second base, basically catching Garcia off guard, catching him in between second and third. Obviously, Garcia is out because he went out of the base path when Alec Boehm applied the tag. But for some reason, you get the umpire saying, no, go back to second base, go back to second base. And we're just like standing all around here thinking about what's going on. Why is he going back to second base? Why is he not out? He went out of the base paths and everything like that. Even the Phillies are very confused. Bailey Falter, I think Zack was confused. Even the Nationals were confused. So it was really just weird. So there was really no explanation of why he went back to second base. And then during that at bat, I believe it was a 2-1 count at that point. And then Zack proceeded to throw 2 more balls, which he threw 2 more balls, but the umpire for some reason forgot what the count was. And on that 4th ball, he called it a 3-2 count. So Zack managed to get a strikeout. So I don't know what happened there. That was just a horrible inning. Then you go to the top of the 9th. Phillies tack on a couple of more runs. Gene Segura and Bryson Stott get singles. Rhys Hoskins drives in Gene with a single, makes it 4-1, and then JT gets into a fielder's choice, which allows a run to score, making it a 5-1 ball game. So Anthony comes out for that bottom of the 9th. He gets the first out, walk, single, walk, strikeout, and a ground out. Just didn't look good from Sir Anthony. Trouble with location. That's been his main issue since coming back from the injury. Velocity's still there. It's his command and control. He cannot locate that fastball. He's having a lot of troubles picking the outside corners. That's his major issue right now. Velocity isn't a concern. It's his location. So if you look at the lineup today, Kyle Schwarber had a dreadful day, 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Rhys Hoskins, 2 for 5, 2 RBIs. Bryce Harper, 1 for 4. JT Realmuto, 2 for 5. He also became the 2nd catcher in Major League history behind Pudge Rodriguez to hit 20 home runs and steal 20 bases. So that's a little bit of history there for JT. Alec Boehm goes 0 for 4. Nick Castellanos 0 for 4. Matt Bierling, he came into the ballgame for defensive reasons. Brandon Marsh goes 2 for 4 in this game. Gene Segura 2 for 4 with an RBI, and Bryson Stott 2 for 4. 4 for 4 team runners in scoring position. That could be way better, especially against the Washington Nationals. They didn't hit Fetty as good as they should have. He only allowed 2 runs, 7 hits, 5 innings pitched on 104 pitches. It kind of felt like, Fetty left a lot of stuff over the middle of the plate. And like we saw in the Cup series, they are having a lot of issues hitting those mistake pitches. Still, not a lot of balls driven out into the outfield. Not a lot of extra base hits, just a lot of singles, a lot of ground balls, a lot of guys that are just rolling off pitches. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. Yeah, JT got a double in there. Rhys had the home run in the 1st inning. But besides that, there really weren't many extra base hits in this entire game overall. Yeah, Marsh had the double too, but still not many. Just a lot of singles, a lot of rolling off pitches. And, Washington, they're going to make defensive mistakes because they are the Washington Nationals. They are an 102 loss team for a reason. It's got to be better. It's got to be more cleaner. But hey, all the credit in the world to Bailey Falter. He was the main reason why they won this game. 6 innings, 3 hits allowed, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts on 84 pitches. He did his job. That's basically all he had to do. He did his job. Shut out baseball. Quality start. He's been really good for you this month. I know he had the bad start against the Braves in his last one, but overall in September, he's been your best pitcher, I would say overall. So he did his job once again. Magic numbers down to 5. Brewers, they played tonight against Miami. Once again, I'm not going to be watching that game because I just don't want to stress myself out. Game 2, most likely not going to happen with the rain. I'm going to constantly update Twitter just to see if there's any type of announcement on Game 2. I don't think there's going to be. So we just got to wait and see what happens here. There are some comments from Rob Thompson here from Michael Barkan. Let's see. Okay, so this is from Rob Thompson. So he was asked a question about how tonight's going to go. He does not know. Groundskeeper is going to give him an update. It's going to be heavy and it's going to be light. If it's a light rain, the game is going to be played. So we'll basically have to wait and see. I know MLB is probably trying their best to try to get this game in tonight. They're probably trying their hardest to get tonight's game in because they rescheduled it because tomorrow was supposed to be the doubleheader. They rescheduled that game tomorrow night to tonight, and now the rain is going to get worse as the night goes along. Like I said, I don't expect the game to be played, but I wouldn't be surprised if baseball tries to force the game to be played up whatsoever. So I wouldn't be surprised in that standpoint at all. Would not be surprised at all. But you got the win in this first game. All that matters, like I said. Just keep winning. That's all you got to do. Keep winning. Like I said, it's going to take a lot for me to get back on the hype train. Like, I'm still happy that they won, and I still want them to make the playoffs, but I'm just, like, not jumping for joy anymore. It's gotten to that point because of how ugly they've been playing over the past, like, 2 weeks, and basically this entire month, honestly. It's probably hit the melting point at that point, at this point. So, before we end it off right here, we got one comment in the live feed. Anything can happen in the playoffs, so do you have any preference of who you feel more confident playing or a team that you don't want to play? I just want to get in. I don't care who they play. I don't care what happens. I just want them to get in. I want them to end the freaking drought. That's all I care about. End the drought. I am a firm believer that anything can happen in the playoffs, but still, this team's still got to show a lot to me. They do, especially over this last, 7 more games left. So, yeah, they got a lot to show. They got a lot to prove. Yeah, basically where I stand at that point. Well, this was more of a quick hitter, everyone. Just in case, you got to see. Yeah, got to start somewhere. Man, that's right, Ken. So hopefully this is it. Washington, they are a bad team. You've done good against Washington all year. Maybe this is where you wake up a little bit, but still, you got to win your games. You control your own destiny. Magic numbers down to 5 with 6 left to play. Brewers, they play tonight against Miami as well. I believe it's Sandy Alcantara against Corbin Burns, so that's basically a coin flip of what happens there. So you just got to wait and see. Got to wait and see on that standpoint, but you can't constantly be worrying about the Brewers. Got to win your own games. If the Brewers lose, that's just a cherry on top. So, thank you for joining this shorter recap, everyone. If Game 2 does happen tonight, and I still, like I said, I don't think it's going to happen, I'll have a recap for that later, but if it doesn't, we'll basically just stay tuned until what happens with this series. So, thank you for joining this stream, everyone. Do not forget to leave the comments in the comment section down below. I'd like to read those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on this video. Goes a long way. Same thing, but hitting the subscribe button. Also, check out everything in the description down below. Painted Lions, BrodesMedia. I recommend all of that. And also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK, everyone. It's a great deal. Do not pass that up. Once again, thanks for joining this stream, and I will see you next time.